Hey, it's been a while. I just got back from my month-long trip in Japan. The trip was filled with highlights like the people, the shrines, the food, the deer, and sleeping on the concrete with my fellow drunk men. But arguably and most notably, not really, was being able to watch Look Back in theaters because only God knows when it's coming to the US. I want to preface this by letting you know that I'm a Tatsuki Fujimoto glazer. Going into this movie, I had already read Look Back 3 different times. I'm as biased as you can get, but the movie was perfect. If you haven't read Look Back yet, please kindly click off this video and go read it. It takes less than 30 minutes and it's worth every single second. Within 10 seconds of the opening to this movie, I already could tell it was going to be a masterpiece. It opens with one of those bird eye views that go down, which is an extremely hard and tedious thing to animate, yet the craziest thing is, it's not the only time it does this. I can count the number of times it does this type of perspective change on my hand, but the fact that I have to use all 5 of my fingers is ridiculous. The 4 commas that Fujino made in elementary school were fully animated, and seeing those mini stories come to life put the biggest smile on my face that never once left my face, but were accompanied by a lot of tears. I'm not afraid to admit that I cried multiple times throughout the movie, even on parts that you aren't really supposed to, but I think it's because I know what the story is about. And every single second of it, every single frame that you could screenshot and make a background, you could feel the passion that was put into the creation of this movie. And that combination with the source material meant the dam was bound to break. The music alone is enough to give me goosebumps. I was extremely surprised when I saw Haraka Nakamura, the guy who did Lamp with Nujabes, was going to do the music. The movie runtime is only about an hour long, and the album that Nakamura released for it is about 25 minutes, so songs are only used once or twice. But after watching the movie and playing back the album, every single song causes me to revisualize the scene it was used in and the emotions I felt in that moment. I highly recommend that you don't listen to the album right now, even though you can, and wait for the movie to come out because man, do they hit. Every scene and background is hand-drawn, and no corners were cut in the entire production. From what I could tell, there was not a single use of 3D CGI, which is not always necessarily a bad thing, but they never used it even in the backgrounds or when perspectives changed down hallways. With all the praise I've been giving this movie and it only being available in Japanese, you might have already assumed that I understand the language. I don't. I understood maybe a quarter of the words they were saying, but it didn't matter. It was that good. Sure, having read the source material 3 separate times helps, but I think Look Back is truly a work that transcends language. You don't need to understand the exact words that are being used in every situation because you can tell. Everyone's expressions, the composition, their faces, the animation, the music, all of it conveys what it's meant to. It combines and creates this seamless flow of emotion. This movie moves people. It's why Kojima has already seen it 4 times and will continue to watch it until the end of time. People are drawn to passion. It's apparent. You can tell when something was made with care and an unhealthy lack of sleep. It's why I think no matter how good AI gets, it will never be able to fully replace humans. Something the director of this movie, Kiyotaka Oshiyama, finds important. One of the reasons he founded Studio Durian in the first place was because he thought in this day and age of AI, it's crucial to find the motivation to keep creating, and he wants other people to find that as well. Look Back is the definition of what he sought to achieve. This movie will motivate you. If you've ever had a thought about wanting to create something and are too afraid, or you are actively creating something, you need to watch Look Back. Oshiyama is the founder of Studio Durian, yet for this movie, he was the director, the storyboarder, the character designer, the scriptwriter, and did a lot of the key animation on crucial scenes. For the last 2.5 months of production, he lived in the studio's office. Working conditions as an animator in Japan can be awful, and there are some horrible examples of studios mistreating their workers. I'm looking at you, Mappa. But being the founder himself, I see this as passion. As a creative, Oshiyama is your classic perfectionist. He took on this project because he wanted to create something great, and he absolutely cooked. With how close the adaptation is in terms of style, design, and storyboarding, you would think Fujimoto had a lot of involvement in the production. But the truth is, Oshiyama only talked to Fujimoto twice, and it's not like it's a one-to-one adaptation. There are a lot of scenes that are very close to the original, but he takes some creative liberties to expand on some ideas Fujimoto showcased. I left the movie theater speechless. It got me to change the background of my phone, which might not seem like a big deal, but when you've been rocking the same phone for 5 years, and for 5 of those years you had the default background, I think that means something. I might be a psychopath. Also, Japanese movie theaters are goated because for some reason they give out anime goods when you watch an anime movie, or like special goods when you watch an anime movie. For Look Back, I got a copy of the original storyboard for Look Back, and being able to compare it to the official version that came out and seeing all the changes they made, it's like honestly really, really cool. Hopefully it comes out in the US soon. That's gonna be all from me. I just wanted to glaze this movie because it was so good. We need it out in the US now. I need to rewatch it, and hopefully when it comes out, you guys will also be able to enjoy it as much as I did. Alright, that's it from me.